Well, I wrote a book. 8 years after she died, I finished the book. I thought it was finished. I was pretty happy with it. I liked the ending a lot, but I started getting the feeling that I had left something out. All I could think of was that there was something back in San Diego, and I really could not say that I had finished the book until I went back there. What I did was I went back to some of the places that had the most meaning for Judith and me, and I just thought there was something back there. I didn't even know what I was looking for, but I jumped on the plane and I went there to look for it anyway. So I didn't know what I was looking for. I just knew I was looking for something. I knew the 3 places that I wanted to go. The first time we met as adults was in Balboa Park, where there was a carousel. And she told me that she didn't want to say goodbye to me. She just wanted me to get on the carousel and then she would walk away. So I wanted to go back. I felt it was important to go back to the carousel. I wanted to find Richard and Brita, who had pieces of her artwork that I had never seen. And there was an art gallery in La Jolla that I had very special memories of that Judith had dragged me into one day. Oh, that's a story in and of itself. But I mean, we had been on the beach all day and we were covered with sand and seaweed and salt. She drags me in there and she's engaging everybody in conversation, and I'm like, maybe if I stay back here in the corner, they won't even know that I came in here with her. And so anyway, I wanted to go back to that gallery, even though I didn't have a very clear memory of where it was. I just knew it was close to the beach and I figured I could find it. I looked up Richard and Brita. Brita was one of the first people who had supported Judith's artwork, so she had more pieces than anybody. And so I got to see the artwork, and it was just lovely. I sat there with Richard and Brita, and we just talked about Judith for a good hour, hour and a half. And I don't get to talk about Judith. You know, nobody that I knew her. And they were so sweet, and they said, you know, you can call us up and talk about Judith anytime you want to. I went and tried to find the carousel next. I knew it was in Balboa Park. I'm driving with the steering wheel in one hand and the map in the other. I couldn't book a normal-sized car. They got me like a Lincoln Town Car, which I thought of as the hearse. It was a miracle that I found Balboa Park. I was just taking wrong turn after wrong turn, and I looked up and there was the carousel. I rode the carousel and I thought about Judith the whole time, and I got off and I was done. After that, I decided I was going to drive to La Jolla. Oh my Lord. I thought that would be easy. La Jolla is on the ocean. How hard is it to find the ocean? Well, I kept getting lost up in the hills above La Jolla, but everything just kept getting turned and turned around. I did finally get down into La Jolla. I did finally find a place to park the hearse. And then I was just like, I thought, I'm just going to wander around and see if I can find the gallery. And once again, I walked right to it. I didn't have an address. I didn't do anything sensible like look up addresses. I don't think I knew the name of the gallery. And again, I wasn't Googling in those days. What would I have Googled? Gallery I went to with my cousin? So I found it, and what was really, really amazing was, somebody comes up, says, "May I help you?" He remembered Judith. I was saying, I came in here once with my cousin. She was talking with everybody about her artwork and all she was trying to accomplish, and I was trying to hide in the background because I was embarrassed about how I looked. And he said, I remember her. I got up the next morning and I started writing. It was gradually beginning to dawn on me. I'd done what I'd said I was going to do. I'd gone to the places I felt that I needed to go to, and I sat down and I wrote. And it all came together, and I knew why I had gone. And that was when I wrote the second to the last chapter of the book. And the lesson that I learned was that Judith is not gone. She's dead. There's a difference, and I now understood it. Great philosophers, great people of faith and spirit and great spirituality, they probably know this. They've probably been talking about it for a long time, but I needed to have it brought home to me, I guess. The entire process of writing the book, I was trying to heal my grief. I don't believe in closure, so it did not give me closure. Okay. I suppose it would be considered cathartic. People had not forgotten her. Richard and Brita had her art. They took care of it. They talked about her. But I think the biggest one was finding that gallery. And whether that guy was pulling my leg or not, I felt Judith there at that gallery. You're not gone as long as there are people remembering you and talking about you. And that was, Judith was alive in San Diego, and I guess I had to go out there to figure that out. She was alive to me. She always will be alive to me. But, if I had to put it into words, I would say I learned the difference between dead and gone. And as long as I'm here talking about her and collecting her art and creating a memorial program for her, she's not gone. She's just dead.